First one out of the gates, John Durick. John, did you see on Twitter that there is a push for hashtag make Solo 2 happen? I liked Solo. Do you think Lucasfilm would make a Solo 2 as a movie or Disney Plus show? Thank you all for the great work that you do.
Yeah, look, I'm a big fan of Solo. I am. That was a movie that started, it's kind of like, what was that? World War Z. It was kind of like World War Z, a movie that went into a lot of drama and a lot of mess behind the scenes, got retooled, and actually turned out pretty good for it. And I thought Solo was a really wonderful film. I thought the kid playing Solo did great. I thought the cast was wonderful. I thought it was just a good, solid space adventure movie. Fun for the whole family sort of thing. The problem is, it became the first Star Wars movie in history that actually lost money. Now, if they didn't have to reshoot the whole damn movie, it would have been profitable. But they did have to reshoot it. The expenses got way higher, and that ended up with them, even though they made about $400 million, the movie actually lost money. Now, anyway, there was started this campaign on Twitter to get people to retweet this hashtag Make Solo 2 happen. And anyway, one of the writers of Solo, John Kasdan, got on Twitter, and he actually replied to it, and he wrote this: "Beyond grateful and galvanized by the Make Solo 2 happen energy on Twitter today, means so much to everyone involved, and your enthusiasm makes it possible for us to keep advocating for it, because the maker knows there's a war story in a galaxy far, far away that is yet to be told." Rob, you had a chance, you've seen this, you've heard them talking about this and all this kind of stuff. Do you actually think it's possible they could end up doing a Solo 2? Is there any reality in which that is a possibility?
Well, as you pointed out, I mean, the movie was not profitable, but that was really because of the production issues that it suffered. I think Solo is a movie that's going to be rediscovered. I think people, when they watch it, I have people tweeting to me all the time, I watched Solo, I thought it was a train wreck, I skipped it. I found it surprisingly enjoyable. I think I equate it to sort of a mid-level James Bond movie like GoldenEye. I really liked GoldenEye. Is GoldenEye the best James Bond movie? No, but it was a solid entry in the series. I think Solo, I really enjoyed it. And like you and I have talked about many times, it came out too soon to a movie with the original Han Solo dying. If it had come down, if they'd made a Kenobi trilogy or a Boba Fett movie and then done young Solo, maybe. But there was a lot of strikes against it. But watching it again, I really like it. Now, hopefully, with the rediscovery of the film on ancillary markets, and maybe it'll do well on Disney Plus, I don't know. Why not do a limited series like on Disney Plus or a movie? There's really some great opportunities to explore that world because I think it's worth exploring. I really liked it.
But Rob, let me ask you this though: with the financial reality, though, is there any way from a business point of view they could actually pull something like that off, or would even try doing something like that?
Probably. I mean, probably. Look, it doesn't make that much sense from a production, from a monetary standpoint.
Right.
However, you know what? I think if they keep the costs down, and the fact that every time they're going to make another one of these Star Wars series, they're going to have more practical props, they're going to have more stuff that they can use.
Yeah. They
amortize the cost of the other 3 shows they're going to make with the Cassian Andor series, with the Mandalorian series, with whatever their 3rd series is going to be. They could do, why not do a Solo miniseries and keep it the costs limited? I think they might be surprised how many people would dig it.
My problem here is this. While I enjoy Solo a lot, I had a very good time with that movie. The reality is the same problem that existed for me going into this movie, which was nobody has asked for a Harrison Ford-less Solo movie. That's still a factor here.
Right.
And I did enjoy that movie. I liked what they did. Childish Gambino was great in it. The big surprise at the end I thought was really cool and actually does fit within canon if you know all the canon, and all that worked a lot. I just think that initial problem is still there, even though the movie turned out great and I enjoyed it, and I'm happy. I'm happy it got made, even though I never wanted it in the first place. I just don't know from a dollars and cents point of view, this is something that they would look at. I think, look, the way it kind of stumbled made them reevaluate even how many movies they wanted to put out a year,
right,
even though that was never the issue, and we all know that. But would Bob Iger at this point actually feel comfortable and want to go back and do another Solo movie? I got my doubts, man.
I do too. But it could be one of those things. I never thought they were going to make a Tron 2 either. And they went back because Tron over the years, I mean, it didn't do as well as I hoped. The movie wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. But I think
out of time. We got to move on.